Hi guys, Determined Gardener here. Before you pick up potted mums, you may want to think twice. You see, I think of potted mums as that friend that is always fun at the party but never really sticks around. That's how potted mums acts in my zone 7B. So potted mums can be that way, a bit flaky. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get your potted mums to last throughout the fall, even after the winter months. And for those of you who live in the warmer climates, I also have some great tips for you too. So stick around. Walking down this aisle is like I'm a kid in a candy store. So many varieties to choose from. But you have to choose the right variety. Now let's take this for instance. This looks like a beautiful color mum. It has lots of buds, but when it comes to mums, you don't want to pick something like this that is already bloomed. You want to find one that has all the blooms tight like this. That way it will last longer in the season. If you get a mum that is already fully bloomed like this, it's already old, it's been sitting on the shelf for a very long time, and that means after the season is over, you know where that will end up, probably in the garbage. I would suggest, if you're looking for a more affordable option, bigger is not always better. When it comes to bigger mums, you're going to pay more because of the pot. If the pot is more decorative or fancy, that means that you'll have to pay more for that mum. Take for instance this is almost $7 and it comes in a plain black pot. I know it's not fancy, but again, you're not paying for the pot, you're really paying for the mum. So that is a pro tip there. If you want to save a little bit of dough, don't go for the fancy pots, go for the black plain ones like this, so you won't be paying for the pot, you'll actually be paying for the mum. Here is another tip. If you are looking to save on your mums, stick to one color. The variety colors, different color mums will cost you more. Like this one is $17.98 and it comes in this really small container for $17.98. So if you stick with ones that have one color, you'll get more bang for your buck. For instance, this beautiful mum right here, it comes in this really nondescript pot, but take a look. We don't want to be fooled because it's fully bloomed, and we want to skip mums that are fully bloomed because they don't last as long as the ones that are budded. One thing that mums always have in common at the big box stores, and that is they're in pots. If you are buying a mum in a pot, the secret to get them to bloom is to take it out of the pot, to put it in the ground. That's right, plant it in the ground once it's fully bloomed. You can even plant it in the ground when the buds are still tight. Mums are essentially perennials, meaning that they come back year after year. But I have found out throughout many years of buying mums that if you keep them in a pot, they will not come back. You see, their roots need room to grow, and a pot does not allow their roots to grow. Also, mums need time to get used to the frost. So if you keep them in a pot like this, they won't get used to the colder weather, and most likely their roots inside the pot will die. And that's the #1 reason why people, when they do buy mums in colder climates and in pots, the mums do not last. My garden friends, if you're getting any good useful information from this video or tips that you did not know about, do me a favor and hit that sub button. Better yet, share this video with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, mums do like moist soil. They don't want their roots or soil to be too wet. So make sure when you are watering the mums, make sure you don't give them too much water. Just make sure the soil is moist. And for those of you who may be looking to try something different, I got you. You see, asters are perfect. They're a perfect substitute for mums. They're like that background singer who never gets any love but is just as talented. And that's how asters are. They're a really good alternative to mums. Most of the time they are cheaper and they last longer, and get this guys, they are hardier in colder zones like mine. Some asters are even native plants, which means that they are more drought tolerant and their blooms last longer. So less fuss and more easier than mums. So guys, we're back at my front yard, and for me, my motto is seeing is believing. So I recently purchased these mums about a week ago, and you can see they are already struggling. That's because they are in pots. Now I find that the smaller the pot, the more watering you need. And you can see this is a pretty small pot. You can see that their buds are fried, and that's because mums overall needs water. So if you keep it in a pot, you're going to have to water it more. You can see the buds, some of the buds are still good. Right here, you can see they are still a lot of viable buds. So if your mum looks like this, all you have to do is just pop it off. If you can believe it, I planted this mum last year, and you can see how nice and yellow it is. It looks healthy. It doesn't look like this, right? And basically, I didn't water this mum, but because it was already established last season and it already got used to the weather, it is doing so much better than this mum in a pot. By putting it in the ground in the early fall last season, it essentially became a perennial. And that's what you want to do. Just place the mum in the ground. It just makes sure that it is in a nice sunny spot. And that's exactly what I did with this mum. I overwintered it, meaning that I placed it in the garage over the winter, but you can see it's not as vibrant as it should. It is in a pot. Some of the branches are very thin and kind of not looking as great, and the buds are not as bright, and that's because I left it in a pot. What I am going to do is actually take it out of the pot and plant it in the ground. Look at this compared to this, right? This is actually newer. I got this last season, and this is 2 years old. So you can tell the difference when it comes to leaving mums in pots. The best time to plant your mum is late summer to early fall, and make sure that you put it in a nice sunny spot. The sunnier the better, because the sunnier it is, then these beautiful blooms will actually fill out more for you. To make sure it doesn't dry out, you can add a little compost around the base of the mum to keep it nice and hydrated. And for our garden friends who live in warmer climates, you don't have to put your mums in the ground right away. You can keep it in pots. Just make sure that it is well watered, because your climate is hotter. You're probably having still 90-degree weather, and I am completely jealous, because right here is zone 7B. We're getting down to the 70s and even the 60s at night. But again, in your zone, mums are perennials, meaning they come back year after year. So why not place it in your garden? So if you live in a cooler climate, hopefully these tips that I have provided will keep your mums from ending up on the curb in the garbage. If you got any good useful information from this video, do me a favor. YouTube is rolling out this new hype feature. I really don't even understand it, but if you see it, just give me a little bit of hype. Just tap that button. Just tap it just like that. Tap, tap, tap. And let the algorithm or whoever is watching this video, whoever runs YouTube, know that this is valuable information that should be shared. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel, The Determined Gardener. Hope you got a lot of useful information when it comes to mums, and you won't throw your mums away after the season is over. Fall is a beautiful time for mums, but remember, you don't have to treat them as annuals. As long as you follow the tips that I provided in this video, your mums will last season after season. And speaking about staying power, why don't you check out native plants? They are great for the environment and they are drought tolerant. Why don't you check out this video to find out why so many people were upset with this one woman who transformed her garden into a native plant haven. It's a lot of drama you won't want to miss.